Did this NBA player live up to their draft comparison? Victor Wembanyama. Draft comparison is KD and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, okay. I think he did. He has a defensive AD. And listen, he's not KD offensively, but you see the shades, especially for a big man. I think this is pretty accurate.
Yeah, there's certain times where you can see him getting into his pull-up three where it's like, yeah, there's only one other person who can move like that, and that's Kevin Durant. So on that front, I like that. And then when we talk about just being elite defensively, listen, by the end of next year, is Wemby going to be better than AD on defense? I don't know.
I think he might be.
I don't know.
Wemby's probably going to be better than everyone at defense next season.
That's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous to say that.
Defensive player of the year in the second year? Did we just call that out? Oop.
Either way, he lived up to this. I think he's going to be better than anybody ever imagined.
God damn. That's just a crazy ass comparison in general. Not all.
The fact that you can live up to these two Hall of Famers is insane.
Exactly. Like we always see KD comparisons like on a consistent basis just because you're skinny. Like the last time someone got compared to him is like, I don't know, Brandon Ingram or something like that. And we see AD comparisons like on the regular. The last player who got compared to AD was Evan Mobley. And I mean, I guess, but that's only defensive talks. Yeah. This dude right here lives up to it on both ends.
The fact that you can play 70 games and I can immediately be like, oh yeah, I do see some Kevin Durant and I do see some Anthony Davis. Like that's absurd.
Jason Tatum being compared to Harrison Barnes and Danny Granger.
Bro, everybody slept on Jason Tatum coming into the draft. He was an afterthought after Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball. It's so crazy. Of course he lived up to this.
Yeah, he's surprised him. Now listen, prime Danny Granger is a problem, but Jason Tatum is also a
I
problem.
was waiting for you to say that.
Shout out, but he lived up to it.
Exactly. Listen, we all like to pretend that Danny Granger was unstoppable, right? He's okay, right? Jason Tatum is one of the 10 best players in the league right now. He's better than both of these two guys combined. If you put 2013
Danny Granger on this Celtics team, could he have won the championship?
That's where we stop right there.
I mean, that's a fair point.
I don't know that he couldn't.
That's a fair
prime Danny Granger?
We'll have to talk about that next week.
Before all the injuries? Oh, that's a real conversation right now.
You want to talk about rim pressure.
Exactly.
All right. Larry Markkinen to Ryan Anderson and Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay, so they... Exactly.
He's like a good median between
They cast a wide net here. They're like, he's either a very average white shooter or a very legendary white shooter. We're bound to be right somewhere in the middle, and they nailed it.
Exactly. They said white, foreign, that's you. Like
it's the laziest comparison on earth. You can look at any tall European player and be like, that's Dirk. And this time, I guess.
Fine.
Shout out Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, fine.
Ryan Anderson would eat in today's league, man. Him back when he was in the New Orleans Pelican.
He didn't play that long ago.
It feels like a little long ago. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ryan Anderson, man.
He was on that 2018 Rockets team, I think.
No way. Was he?
Yeah, but that was old Ryan Anderson. I see what Mo's saying.
Yeah, he was. I mean, 2016, 2017, he was still contributing a lot. But yeah, he was getting past his age a little bit.
Look at the jersey update with him.
Oh yeah, he's got Rocket Mortgage on his jersey.
Yeah, damn, that's so crazy.
He might have been kicking around for longer than we remember. That's crazy.
Damn, Ryan Anderson. He could have been drafted, bro. And we would have been like, what the fuck?
When did Ryan Anderson retire? Let me look that up. What was his last year?
2021.
Probably didn't retire. Just no one.
Yeah, he just stopped playing. Ryan Anderson's last year was 2019-2020. He only played 2 games, so that's crazy.
Next player, we got Kyrie Irving to Chris Paul.
This was his comparison coming in.
That was his lone comparison coming in.
From who?
People do forget that young Chris Paul was very shifty. So I guess I understand that.
Exactly. Like Chris Paul over the last 9-10 years, okay, that will you'll look at this comparison, you'll be like, what the fuck is this? But look at that year that he almost won MVP.
No, for sure. Young fans today think of Chris Paul as geriatric and this whiner. They don't realize that he was actually incredibly fast and athletic as a young guy. Isn't the worst comparison in the world.
Nah, he didn't live up. I mean, Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards of all time in a basketball sense, and in if you have to win one game, who do you want leading your team? I don't think Kyrie has matched him on either one of those levels.
No, definitely not. But stylistically, I get it. But no, young people get mad at us when we say prime Chris Paul smokes Kyrie, but he smokes Kyrie.
Yeah, I don't think they understand how many aspects of the game that Chris Paul has mastered compared to Kyrie. The only aspect of the game that Kyrie has mastered is highlight tapes and being clutch, I guess.
Yeah, making really hard shots instead of getting easy ones.
Still valuable.
Somebody got
a great player. It's a great player. Fantastic player. It's not Chris Paul.
He's not. So, no, he did not. He did not live up to this comparison.
What's the next one?
Next up, we got Evan Mobley to Chris Bosh.
I forgot people were saying this. People really thought Evan Mobley was going to be a shooter. Still might be. The book's not done, but it's not looking great for that comparison at all.
Listen, a couple
That
years
comparison
later,
is cooked.
exactly. A couple years later, Mo, who were they comparing Evan Mobley to? You said it earlier this year.
Now they're comparing him to Derek Favors. Tragic.
Oh,
Tragic.
how the mighty have fallen. Now listen,
Wow.
I see it. The length, the body type, I understand it. Defensively, he's even better than Chris Bosh. I get it. But offensively, it just hasn't worked out that way at all. No, he didn't live up to it.
We
It's
just
so
keep
far
doing this
off.
thing where I understand some people look like former players. You say tall, skinny guy. He's Chris Bosh. I get it, but it's kind of lazy. He's not like that.
I'm not selling my stock yet, though. He still has a chance to develop. I'm not done with Evan Mobley.
Now, him as a lone center, we can have completely different conversations.
He was popping off for 16 points in the playoffs. He's a bucket.
All right.
He
I will
did
never
that.
forget that 23-point game to try against the Boston Celtics earlier this year.
Nah,
Evan
man, he
Mobley.
was shooting. Sniper. Shooting
The
3
land
threes a game.
That hates Evan Mobley.
That's hilarious. All right. Next
Yeah.
player. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo to Evan Turner. People back then didn't know what the fuck to do about
I'm
him
not
at
gonna
all.
lie.
They said,
I'm
tall,
not gonna lie.
6'9",
The
dude
way
can
Evan
dribble a
Turner
little
impacts
bit.
the game with his passing from a point forward perspective isn't something that Giannis has really matched yet to this point of his career. So I'm not gonna jump the gun and say Giannis lives up to this yet. I don't think so.
Evan Turner also has things in his game and in his portfolio that Giannis doesn't. So like Evan Turner has a podcast. Giannis doesn't.
Exactly.
You know? So
Giannis has no multimedia experience.
how financially literate is Giannis compared to Evan Turner? I don't know, right? So we're just going to have to go. I think Evan Turner still has a couple legs up on Giannis. But listen, if he keeps working, he's clearly shown that he can improve quickly. But
I'm not
he's still
buying
like
it. I'm not
Exactly.
buying it. Quit the yap. I'm not buying it until he shines at the highest level of iHeartRadio podcasting.
Yeah, we're still about like a year away. He's a year away from being a year away, in my
In
opinion.
fact,
A year
A
away
project
from
player
being
at
a year
best.
away.
Yeah.
The internet tomatoes are being launched at you guys' face right now.
Bobbing and weaving.
That's absolutely disgusting, bro.
stick and weave.
Next comparison. We got Josh Giddey to Ricky Rubio and Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, you just took
You
the
see
worst
it.
elements of both their games. You took Kyle Anderson's speed, Ricky Rubio's shooting, Ricky Rubio's defense, and just combine it into an amalgamation of uselessness, and we got it.
What? Are you discounting Giddey's passing?
Yes.
Bro, today I saw a 4-minute highlight tape of Josh Giddey's
Oh!
worst passes of the year. It was awful. It was crazy. He stands at the 3-point line staring down the cutter pass, and everybody sees it every single time.
Wow. Wow.
It's hard for your
Wow.
passing to be relevant when your man is standing in the paint looking at the guy you're looking at. Like, if you're not a scoring threat, your passing's irrelevant.
His defenders are
Yeah.
like, there? Right there? Okay, I got you. I'll go over there. I'll go over there.
Damn. This is pretty on the money, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I always
Scouts
think
are
back to
pretty
that
good with
one
this
YouTube highlight. Dude, I always think back to that one
The
YouTube,
YouTube
scouting
graphic.
video. This is all the weaknesses, and it's just like a million of them.
Just basketball. Yeah, that was Hoop Intellect. Out to him.
Oh, that's who been like. I love his videos.
Yeah.
He gives me so much of my draft insight.
Yeah, I mean, he's feeding the nation, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But he was in his bag when it comes to this shit because it was on the money. Still to this day. That sucks. All right, next comparison. We got Paolo Banchero to Blake Griffin.
TBD, but it's looking good for sure.
Yeah, if
Now-
you want to go like older Blake, yeah,
Mhm.
because obviously like
Exactly.
the athleticism isn't there. But once you get to like late Clippers, early Pistons, Blake, the smoothness of the game, the ability to shoot, pass, right, to handle the ball, bring it up in transition, that's still there. So I can kind of see that.
That was the best version of Blake Griffin right there, to be honest.
I actually see that a lot. I see a lot of 2018 Blake. Paolo has to
Yeah.
get better at getting to the rim consistently and not setting for as many jumpers. But the way he moves the ball in his hands as a passer and a scorer looks a lot like Pistons Blake.
Paolo looks so young in this picture. It's crazy.
I mean, he is young.
That's just how he
No,
looks
but
now.
like-
he is young.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing
You
him
think
next
he's
to old man
26?
Blake Griffin, so it looks way different.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
he looks
exactly.
like a child.
No, this is a great
That's
comparison.
hilarious.
He's living up to it day by day.
Jonathan Kuminga to Pascal Siakam and Jalen Brown.
See, this is
I mean,
unfair to Kuminga. They listed the two best development stories in modern NBA history. Guys who went from being bad at everything but long to being really good. How is Kuminga going to live up to that unless he's also one of the best development stories in NBA history? It's not fair to him.
Developing under Steve Kerr? That's a fake scenario.
Challenge level impossible.
Can never happen.
Nah,
This is an L. But I don't blame you, Kaminga. This
failed.
sets you up for failure.
He failed.
He did make a leap this past year when he was actually given
He
a
made a
real
hop.
opportunity. But what else do you expect out of him? You know, like there's only so much someone like Kaminga can do.
You can watch Klay Thompson miss jumpers.
He can't do a lot, and that's a problem.
Tragic.
L.
All right, we got one more comparison. It's Nikola Jokic to Boris Diaw. That's all these fucking scouts had in their bag. Couldn't decipher shit else about his game.
Yeah, like if you gave Boris Diaw super soldier serum, yeah, like he could beat Nikola Jokic. I don't hate that.
Super Care Bear syndrome. I don't know if Nikola Jokic is built like a super soldier.
I mean, you understand.
built like Barney.
You know what I
Kind of
mean.
built like
The-
Barney.
If you
in terms
turn
of the
Boris Diaw's
roundness-
attributes up 1,000, yeah, it could be Jokic.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you make him a 99 overall or try to match him with Nikola Jokic's attributes on 2K. They're putting up the same exact stat line for sure. Maybe a little bit less rebounds for Boris because he doesn't have those physical attributes. But for sure, they're putting up like
Low key, we can laugh at this because Nikola Jokic became an MVP. But coming in and projecting him to be this passing big man that can do a little bit in the short roll and all this stuff, it wasn't a bad comparison.
Yeah,
it was literally on the money. I agree.
Yeah, this scout understood Nikola Jokic's game better than most of the NBA.
Yeah, they just didn't see it being this
And how
dominant.
could they?
At
How
this
could they see
scale.
him being a top 5 offensive player of all time at his peak? How could they see this happening?
Yeah,
How could they see modern day Larry Bird come to fruition?
Yeah, while being built like Patrick Starr, no one sees that shit, bro. No one foreseen that shit. No, that still hasn't been seen other than this case right here.
I'm gonna give this a W.
I like this.
Yeah, shout out to him. He was in his bag. Those scouts are in his
We
bag,
respect
man. That
Boris
was the
Diaw
last
over
one.
here.
Fact.
Great role player, man. I miss his game. We need more Boris Diaw in the league today.
We always need more Boris Diaz. I love that.